Quintessentially British and definitely delicious. Scones are easy to share at a party and easy to make. They're served with jam and clotted cream. This fantastic recipe is by Martha Collison. This recipe is flavored with Darjeeling tea, the king's favorite. If you don't live in a country where clotted cream is sold, don't worry, we'll show you how to make it later. We'll also show you how to make self-raising flour and castor sugar. Pour the milk into a small pot. To flavor the milk, you can use 1 tea bag or 1 teaspoon of loose leaf tea. Place on medium heat until the mixture begins to steam. Don't let it boil. Turn off the heat and leave to infuse for a half hour. This is important to add flavor to the recipe. Strain out the tea with a fine strainer. If you're using a tea bag, you can just take it out. Add the honey and stir to combine. Set aside. In a large bowl, add the self-raising flour. We'll show you how to make it later on in the video. Add the cold diced butter and rub the butter into the flour with your fingertips until it's well combined. It's fine to leave a few small pieces of butter in the mix. It should look grainy, like breadcrumbs. Sprinkle the castor sugar into the mixture. This step is missing in the recipe card posted on the Coronation toolkit. We found another scone recipe by Martha Collison, and it's at this stage that the castor sugar is added. We assume it's the same for this one. Mix in the sugar with your fingertips and make a well. The well step is also missing from the recipe card. Pour in the milk a little at a time, stirring it in with a round-bladed knife. If you don't have a round-bladed knife, just use a spoon or a regular knife. Just don't use your hands. Don't over-knead. Scones only require light kneading, otherwise they won't rise and you won't get the light, fluffy texture. Pour the dough onto a flat surface and bring together to form a ball. If the dough feels too dry and won't form a ball, add a half teaspoon of plain milk and gently knead to incorporate. Oh no! Our granite countertop just wrinkled. It's just a vinyl mat. We don't have the money for granite countertops. Please buy us a coffee. The link is in the video description. It's really just a small monetary contribution to our channel. Let's try this again. Form another ball and flatten it a little. On the recipe card, it says to roll to a thickness of 3 centimeters to make 10 scones. But there isn't enough dough to do that, so we made the dough thinner. We used a 6 centimeter cutter. This information was also missing. So again, we referred to Martha's other scone recipe for the correct size to use. Punch out the scones. Cut out as closely together as you can to fit as many as possible. Re-roll the remaining dough, taking care not to handle it too much, and punch out the remaining scones. Place the scones on a baking tray. You should be able to get 10 in total. Use a pair of scissors to snip the top of the scones, like this. It's easiest if they're small scissors. You can make 4 or 5 of these incisions. Push the dough towards the outside to form the peaks of the crown. Once the incision is made, refrigerate the scones for at least a half hour. If you skip this step, the peaks won't hold their shape in the oven. Preheat the oven. Take the scones out of the fridge. Now make an egg wash by whisking an egg with a teaspoon of water. Brush the egg wash onto the scones. Put the scones in the oven and bake for 12 to 15 minutes or until golden brown. These crown-shaped scones are the perfect treat for the coronation. If you like this video, please show us your appreciation by clicking on the thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. It really helps our channel. If you have some pretty plates, now's the time to use them. Let the scones cool a little, but if you can, serve while they're still nice and warm. You can also reheat them in the oven before serving if you like. You can serve the scones with jam and clotted cream alongside, or you can prepare them in advance. If you don't live in a country where clotted cream is readily available, you can make it yourself. Just keep watching. You definitely don't want to skip it. The flavor is slightly nutty with a touch of sweetness. It's delectable. This dessert is simple to make but full of rich flavor. The perfect way to celebrate the coronation. To make the clotted cream, you only need one ingredient: cream. Measure out 2 cups of cream. In the United Kingdom, you would use double cream, which is about 48% fat. Pour into a large, open, oven-proof dish. In North America, there is no double cream available. We used whipping cream, which is 35% fat. Bake for 12 hours. Remove from the oven. You'll see that a crust is formed at the top. This is perfect. Let cool for at least an hour at room temperature. Cover and refrigerate for at least 8 hours. The clotted cream is the delicious, rich, fatty part on top. The milky liquid underneath can be saved to use in baking. Pour the liquid into a bowl and refrigerate. Scoop the cream into a jar to use right away or to keep for later. Self-raising flour is hard to find in some countries, but you can easily make it. Pour 2 cups of flour into a bowl. Add 3 teaspoons of baking powder and a half teaspoon of fine salt. Mix well. If you don't have caster sugar, known as superfine sugar in some countries, you can easily make it with a blender or food processor. Simply pour in granulated sugar. Use this substitute in a 1-to-1 ratio. This scone recipe calls for 25 grams of caster sugar, so you'll use 25 grams of granulated sugar. Pulse a few times until the consistency is superfine, but not powdery. Sometimes a powdery cloud forms when you blend the sugar. Wait for a minute before removing the top. Caster sugar incorporates into food more quickly than granulated sugar. You can use your homemade caster sugar in place of store-bought caster sugar in any recipe. We hope you found our video helpful. Here are some other coronation recipes you might like to try.